Hi, it's Brian Newman with the Spotlight of Business Owner Show, and today we're thrilled to have Dr. Alan Paris on our show. Hi, Doc, how are you?
Good. How you doing? Good morning.
Yeah, good, good. Yeah, he's the author of the Filament Trilogy, and it's quite a book, quite a series that I encourage everybody to pick up and read. Doc, before we get into the book, can you tell people a little bit about your background?
Well, I studied chemistry in New York. I've got degrees in Bachelor's of Science in Chemistry and the Associated Sciences. And that got me interested in that. I became a musician many years ago. And after 20 years of playing in the Scottsdale Concert Band, I got into jazz music, which is feeding my creative streak. So basically, I have this creative idea. I gave up the trombone after many years and decided to write. So starting in 2016, I began this trilogy series. It started as one book, and as I moved on and got more ideas, it became two books and led to three, becoming in this enormous trilogy. And I finished it recently and published it recently, so I'm quite excited about it.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, so what inspired you to develop this original story?
Well, as a practicing optometrist, I often receive boxes of doctor samples. I get eye drops, contact lenses, miscellaneous supplies. And I imagine this receiving a huge package of specialty light bulbs for each one of my professional tools. When I installed them and switched them on, the bulb's special filament produced wonderful beneficial lighting and pleasant emotional responses from my patients. The Filament Trilogy is about a local eye doctor's similar discovery. It causes his patients and a confused public to demand explanation of the amazing benefits derived from this magical illumination. Complaints from the medical board and extreme press coverage leads to an inquiry by the state optometric board. So the doctor is pulled before the board and has to explain himself. This draws an attractive attorney to defend the doctor and later on to develop a romantic relationship. Interest at the Vatican sends a papal bishop to pursue these divine miracles claimed by the church's community. The filament's awesome effects reach across the globe, first developing defense against disease in Nicaragua, then moving to Europe and Africa to heal the sick and feed the hungry. Eventually, the filament reaches out, influencing the entire planet.
Oh, wow. Wow, that is cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, how could you not pick up this book and start reading it? I mean, yeah, it's great. So why did you decide to write and publish?
Well, I always had this creative streak. I played jazz trombone, as I explained, in school, and later on wrote fiction. I sampled a few stories to my literary friends and received positive feedback. And this led me to share my stories and want to entertain other readers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. So how can people buy your book?
Well, I'm available on all book outlets. So you have Amazon, you have Barnes and Noble, you have booklocker.com, which are the publishers, and you can go direct to them. It's also available. You just get on the internet and put my name in and the name of the book, and you'll get it all available.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, so why did you choose to present a trilogy?
Well, I wanted to produce an innovative scenario. I wanted to stage each book by increasing the intensity and complexity instead of one long narrative. So I have a hidden agenda in there. As you read along, the level of literacy increases and it's more demanding.
Oh,
In
okay,
book
okay.
one, Accepting the Gift, it's a simple fun romp, easily introducing the main characters and the initial storyline. In book two, Brighten the World, it expands the style stylistically to a higher level. In book three, the same thing happens. It gets more intense. It introduces exotic international individuals who join our couple's crusade with stirring adventures. Their deep devotion and serious romance treats the reader by inviting them to unique local wedding ceremonies. Amorphicity, the finality, advances interdimensionally with complications adding startling characters in time and space. This reveals the fluid nature in matter and energy. From my science background, our heroes must battle daunting spatial calamities and face an extraordinary gamble by risking deep personal sacrifice. Adding to the fun, there is a sudden plot twist at the finish.
Oh, okay. No, so yeah, I'm just curious for the reader audience, what reader audience are you trying to reach?
Well, I'm offering an experience with comic relief, social interplay, and advancing literate demand. So I want to write for adults to expose the themes of personal relationships, love, hate, jealousy, revenge, friendship, renewal, hardship, and redemption. It's all in these 3 books. It's all there for you to enjoy.
Oh, okay. And then where are you going from here?
Well, I've been out meeting people to discuss their feelings about my writings. I'm offering a presentation called Book Talks to small groups about the uniqueness of reading and the important skills for efficiency and comfort. That's the optometry emerging. And important to have good vision to fully absorb and enjoy the reading experience. I'm also developing a wild spinoff. I have a character, Red Roxy, is a vibrant villain battling to confuse personality and emotional duality of good and evil, looking for Red Roxy rules in your future as the next single book that comes out.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Cool. Will you ever write something different than a trilogy?
Well, Red Roxy is a single book. My goal is to have fun with it all by presenting a relaxed conversation to draw out the reader's inner feelings and garner the personal interest we all have in us to be entertained this way. The single books should move along. The trilogy developed over 6 years. So I didn't know it would be a trilogy until I realized the length of it. I will be more concise in the future and probably put out single volumes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Doug, also if people have questions about your book and how to get it, or if they just want to talk to you about, what's in it, how can they reach you?
Well, if you'll notice behind me there's a signage that gives you a email address, filament119@gmail.com. And you can write me, I will write you back. I love communicating. I try to keep in touch with my readers. So that's a joy for me. And I love the discussions. So if you have questions or you have comments or you have requests, then it's filament119@gmail.com.
Okay. I also put your phone number out there. Is that another way?
Probably not the best. I don't know which phone number you put out, but probably not the best idea, because if I think you get a lot of strange calls these days, and so I might not answer.
Oh, okay. Okay.
If it goes, it'll go to voicemail.
Oh, all right. All right. All right. So again, any last words you want to say to the audience that's viewing us?
Well, not my last words, but when you put that. But generally, the idea of these books was to start simple and get more extravagant. You might want a dictionary at the end. You probably won't need it if you're an avid reader. But it's to have fun, to follow the story, to see the characters develop, to enjoy the love interest. The weddings are very dear, and the different countries and the responses also are interesting. I've researched them. I've been to some of these places, not enough of them, but that is a goal of mine, to travel more. So you will enjoy the experience. You can move along from book 1 to book 3. And then in the future, maybe a year or 2 from now, Red Roxy comes out, and that should be a fine book too. So thank you very much. And anything you have to add?
Yeah, no, I know, yeah, it's got a little bit of everything in it. I know I started reading some of it, it's got curiosity, it's got adventure, it's got a little romance,
And there's mysterious parts of it, and there's a love interest that gets kind of exciting. And there were 3 couples, but 2 weddings. So in the future books, I might shadow back to these books to reference the third wedding that will eventually happen, but it's not in these 3 books. The twist at the end explains that and brings you along to the future. It's all about coming into the future as we move along in our lives.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, for the viewers again that are listening to us, yeah, get in touch with Dr. Paris. You can go to Amazon and do a search on either by his name, Dr. Alan Paris, or I think you can type in the Filament Trilogy, and it'll show all 3 of them.
Right.
So
Or just Filament, Filament 1, Filament 2, Amorphicity, any of those titles. But if you put Dr. Alan Paris, you should eventually come up with the books as well as the title Filament.
oh, okay. All right. Well, Doc, yeah, thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me and for helping me along with my fun future.
Sure. I love helping. So yeah, thank
You're a
you.
great guy. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.